A crime update to a Little Rock homicide investigation. Thank you for joining us tonight on THV 11. I'm Tamar Knight alongside meteorologist Simone Thomas. And Simone, it's actually quite windy out there in the garden. What's cooking up in the forecast today?
We've got some storms passing through the state. A lot of folks probably have been seeing those severe thunderstorm warnings today. The big thing has been the wind with these storms. These storms have been packing quite the punch. Right now we have a couple of active warnings to check in on. I'm going to zoom in. We're going to start closer to the Arkansas River Valley. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for some portions of your Yale and Perry counties. This is in effect until about 6:45. We're seeing, again, the biggest thing is the wind threat with this. We're also seeing some small hail with this. We're going to go downstream. It looks like this warning was just expired, but we've got another severe thunderstorm warning along the Saline-Pulaski County borders. Rain probably impacting Alexander, moving east of you, but East End starting to get the worst of it right now. Again, this is for those 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, 1 inch or quarter size hail, if you will. This is in effect until 6:15 p.m. As we look at some of our storm reports so far this afternoon, some of the most reports have been across some northern and northeastern parts of the state, but we've also got some storm reports to our southwest of the metro along that Hot Spring and Clark County border of thunderstorm wind damage. That's the biggest thing we've seen is storm wind damage and wind gust reports, as well as a couple hail reports tucked off in there. But we are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m. Some of our northwestern counties that were included in this were shaved off a little bit early because this is all ahead of a front that is passing through. You can see the impact that that front has made on some of our northern neighbors, but we've got more room to go through the rest of the evening. All of those details are coming up in a few.
Police have arrested a suspect in connection with a deadly shooting at a gas station on South University early yesterday morning. Police say 35-year-old Catalin Callan of Hot Springs is charged with capital murder and first-degree battery. Officers found 2 men shot at the Circle K at South University and West 65th Street just after 2 a.m. One victim died at the hospital, and the other's victim's condition has not been released. And deputies are also investigating a shooting at College Station. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says it happened Saturday at 5:32 this morning in the 4100 block of Thompson Street. The Sheriff's Office has not released any information on injuries, but investigators asked if anyone with videos, photos, or information to call the phone number on your screen. And a state trooper in Arkansas is off the job after crashing his patrol car on duty. Arkansas State Police say Corporal John M. Parker was arrested August 21st after a single vehicle wreck around 7:30 on Highway 278 near Monticello. He was charged with DWI and careless and prohibited driving. He's in the Drew County Detention Center, and state police say he's on administrative leave while they investigate. And a special election for Northwest seat vacated by Austin McCullum will now be in front of voters this November. McCullum resigned earlier this month after facing charges of aggravated assault against his wife. The winner of this special election will only serve for 2 months, and Republican Benton County Quorum Court member Brian Armis is running unopposed for the next 2-year term. But despite his resignation from the House, McCullum remains on the ballot for Benton County judge, and unless he's convicted, he can't be forced out of that race. And the governor has declared a state of emergency for severe wildfires burning in Union County. As you can see in this video taken off of Pine Tree Road just outside of El Dorado, the fire burned around 2,000 acres of land. The state of emergency allows Governor Sanders to allocate resources where they're needed, and she did that yesterday by sending 2 National Guard Black Hawk helicopters to help fight the wildfires. The 2 helicopters took off from Camp Joseph T. Robinson in North Little Rock at 12:30 on Friday with 12 people on board. 6 are pilots, and the other 6 are crew chiefs, tasked with transporting these huge water carriers called baby buckets to help the Forestry Division crews on the ground. Citizens in El Dorado may notice smoke moving into the town, but the fire chief, however, says that does not necessarily mean there's any danger.
We just ask for the residents to be patient. There's going to be smoke in the area, and there's nothing we can really do about that smoke at this time. As the winds shift, we'll see smoke here in town. And so for the El Dorado residents, we need to let them know that, that just because we have smoke in town doesn't mean that there's any danger at this point.
According to an update given by the Arkansas Department of Agriculture this morning, fire lines have been established around the entire fire, and it remains at approximately 2,000 acres. It is now 80% contained. Trade talks between Canada and the U.S. broke down late Friday, resulting in the U.S. imposing hefty new tariffs on Canada starting this weekend. Canada is preparing to retaliate with tariffs against the U.S. next month. CBS News' Olivia Rinaldi has the details.
The trade war between the U.S. and Canada intensified Saturday, with the U.S. imposing a 50% tariff on $20 billion worth of Canadian products. This after the two countries failed to reach a trade deal. The tariffs will impact about 5% of what Canada ships to the U.S., including products ranging from hockey sticks to alcohol. On Friday afternoon, President Trump expressed optimism in reaching a trade deal.
We should be able to have a deal with Canada.
But by late Friday, the talks broke down. And on Saturday, Canada's Prime Minister said the country had no choice other than to say no to the terms of the deal.
We cannot accept what they've offered, and we will not give what they've asked.
Canada says it will retaliate beginning September 8th with a new set of tariffs.
Canada will match Washington's new tariffs dollar for dollar in order to protect Canadian workers, farmers, families, and businesses.
The trade news comes as President Trump celebrates legal progress in the construction here at the White House. On Friday, the Supreme Court allowed work on the $400 million ballroom to continue as the court considers lawsuits aimed at stopping the construction. In a political speech on Friday, President Trump said he was pleased by the news.
I just want to thank the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice, and we have a ruling that it's proceed. When they say proceed, I think that's a good thing.
The construction of the ballroom began last fall, following the demolition of the East Wing. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, the White House.
Well, school is officially back in session across the state, and that includes colleges. When we come back from break, we'll hear about UALR's spike in attendance ahead of their return to classes next week.
And we're still tracking those scattered storms moving through the state. I'll have full details on the rest of your weekend and a preview to next week coming up in 5 minutes.